temporarily. There's
Wow.
no way around it.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, I had all the facial issues, the arm, having to pick it up myself, the leg, the
Oh, my
listing when I
So-
walked. Yeah. So I said, okay, what are we going to do after surgery? Where I'm living is not going to work for rehab.
Yeah, yeah.
So a lady from my church offered to take me in, and Ruth Abbott has had so many hip surgeries, back, ankle, knees, wrist, um, every bone in her body, all the joints. She's had osteoarthritis, so she's very familiar with rehab and what it takes and the determination and not letting you say, well, rehab can wait till this afternoon. No, it happens now.
Uh-huh.
And she's very positive, upbeat, and uplifting, and a great cook, I might add. An amazing cook. And where else would I, what would be a better place to do my recovery? Where I'm eating, ramen noodles, or where I'm going to eat these nice, lovable meals.
Don't
And
blame you.
and her family just took me in. I stayed there.
Really?
And she said, that's where you can do your recovery.
Mm-hmm.
And she'd been singing in the choir with me. Her husband was in my Sunday school class and
Uh-huh.
heard all about the issues I was having, my concerns about what I was going to do after surgery. And he actually approached her about it. And
Wow.
so, he said, I think we need to do this for her.
Uh-huh.
I think this is something, because she had just retired from work because of disability issues with all of her joints, and she was a chemist and pre-med student when she was in college. So she's very well versed in the medical field and knew a whole, everything she needed to know in a situation where she was helping someone recover from brain surgery. And was very good at helping me through this. I knew that she was the right person to do this with,
Uh-huh.
and that I couldn't do it on my own.
Yeah.
Because what they
yeah.
say, like you were saying, the depression and stuff, the leading cause of death after a successful brain surgery is suicide, because there's
Really? Wow.
there's something that happens in the brain that the person becomes overly depressed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like with cardiac patients, once they've had open heart surgery, a lot of them come out with different personalities. It's the same thing with brain surgeries. A lot of people will have depression issues after, even if it is a successful surgery, which is what they were saying it would be.
Mm-hmm.
So she was very good at helping me through. I knew she would be the right person to keep me upbeat and positive and encouraging. And so I said, okay. She was going to take me after. Nan would take me up there, and she'd stay with me through the surgery. Now, all the while, I wasn't, I'm 25 years old, and I'm realizing that there are some decisions that she might have to make here. She, and this is, I'm like, she might have to make some decisions, some life or death decisions for me. And, I'm like, I don't want to make those decisions right now. I can't think about that. I just want to live. And I can't keep living like this, but I don't want to make those decisions. And so we just decided I had to, speak with a lawyer, get a living will, so that we knew exactly what I wanted to happen, so that she wouldn't be like, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
What do I
yeah.
do? Here I have this. Does she want this, or do I keep her on tubes? Or
Yeah.
and I just said I don't want to be kept on life support. If it's not my chance to live after the surgery, then I'm not going to live.
Yeah,
But I don't want to live on tubes and equipment that's barely keeping me alive.
Yeah.
So
That's why you're having the surgery to start
Right,
out with,
right.
is to have a normal, quote, normal
yeah, a
life.
higher quality of life.
Yeah.
Right.
and you certainly, yeah, I
Yeah.
understand.
So we talked about that, and then we went up there, and we stayed at the Ronald McDonald House. And again, it was, they have you there at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and we were sitting on the bus, and, because they have a bus that goes from the Ronald McDonald House to the hospital.
And now who was with you?
Nan Price.
Okay.
Nan
okay.
Price was the thing. We were sitting there, and I was telling her, I was like, the last time I was doing this, I was walking across New Circle Road all by myself.
Wow.
And to have you with me, to help me through this, to be there before the surgery, after the surgery, to know that someone's going to be there, I mean, I couldn't ask for a better experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the second time around. If you're not going to do it right the first time, you better do it right the second time.
Yeah, yeah.
Or the third time for you. And of course, you know, all of my friends are like, so you're having a third surgery. Are you sure there's brain matter in there? So it was just, you know, making sure she was with me to make sure everything went smoothly with the doctors. We arrived the night before. We went to, Olive Garden. I just remember sitting there at the table thinking, this could be my last meal.
Last supper, huh?
This could be my last meal. And, you know, all these things, you know, I've got a brain tumor at this point. So my brain's not normal to begin with. And she knows this. And we're sitting there and we're, you know, shoving our face with breadsticks and pasta. And I'm thinking to myself, Olive Garden. We're at the Olive Garden. In Italy, they have Olive Gardens. That's why it's an Italian restaurant. And these things, all these strange things are clicking to me that have never clicked before. And we're just going through this, and I'm like, maybe we don't need to have brain surgery tomorrow. And she's like, yeah, you're going to have it. So we went through all of our doctor's appointments, and she met the neurosurgeon, and he met, you know, her. And
So you were kind of getting cold feet.
yeah. Which
Wow.
I think, you know, I never really realized it, I think until now, how nervous I really was. Like the first set of surgeries, it was like, there's no other option.
Mm-hmm.
I can't not do this. This time it was like, well, I have people here with me if I decide not to do this. But, you know, why would I want to stick with a life like this if it's not going to be any better?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, why would I want to live with them if this life is just going to be tragic
Uh-huh.
and depressive?
Yeah, yeah.
So let's do the surgery. So we did the surgery, and it was really great to have someone with me literally almost 24/7. I mean, she spent several nights when I was having really bad seizures in the hospital with me because she was nervous that things were going to happen or things were going to go
So
wrong.
you actually you went through surgery and you started to have seizures again.
Well, they, like I said, the first time they put the grid on the brain to map the activity, and then they
Oh, then they triggered seizures.
right,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Okay.
they try to get seizures to happen and things like that, and then they do, you know, they have to wait for the brain to tissue to go back down because it swells when you have surgery. So they could do the next surgery to remove the grid and then remove the mass in the brain, and then we recovered for a few days, and then we went home. And then it was Halloween. And I had a nice scar on my head.
Well, you didn't have to buy
right.
a costume.
Well, and I had, you know, like I said, what they told me, I would be paralyzed on the left side of my body.
Wow.
So we made, Ruth Babbitt's daughter and I made these Halloween cookies, and I forced myself to use my left hand to put all of the decorations on the cookies. So I was like doing this detailed cookie decoration because I literally, it was picking up my arm and my face was all drooped. I mean, it was like that for about a month. And then it was just like, I'm sure it was more gradual for everyone else, but for me, it was like I looked in the mirror one day and I'm like, oh, I'm better.
Things are coming back.
I'm better now. And that was at Thanksgiving, and then I had Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then about February, I decided, okay, we have no seizures. We've been given a clearing bill of health from doctors. They've all said that they think, you know, this worked, and medication, you know, because I was up to about 35 pills a day.
You're still taking all these meds.
Right.
Yeah,
I was up till October before my surgery. I was taking 35 pills a day.
Wow.
35. We're going into my body and through my liver and through everything else. And so we started going down on medications about February, and then I decided, you know what? Come May or June, I'm going to be ready to work. I'm ready to go back to work. I can't, you know, keep living off disability because, You know, I've had brain surgery. Oh, woe was me. My life has been horrible. I can't, you know, keep doing that. I can't just stay and watch, you know, the Today Show, and then comes on this, and my day's set by what's on TV. It's, you know, that wasn't working for me anymore.
Okay.